90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they worked so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
Virginia soybean farmers are hard at work growing soybeans to produce products you use every day. Candles, soaps, even crayons can be made from soybeans. Remember, when you buy soy, you're helping to support American jobs, the economy, and our nation's energy security.
Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher. On this week's show, we're taking a look at ARECs, Agricultural Research and Extension Centers. They're run by Virginia Tech's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and there's 11 of them across the state. Today we're taking a look at 2, and we're starting with the one right here on Hampton Creek in Hampton, Virginia. So I've called up with Michael Yonke. He's a professor, but he's also the director here at the Seafood AREC here.
Correct.
On the beautiful Hampton Creek. Michael, thanks to you so much for having us out today.
Well, thank you. I enjoy this. Looking forward to it.
So give us a little bit of background. Number one, how long has the Seafood AREC been here, and how long have you been the director?
In 1975, this was rented, and in 1985, the Virginia Tech Foundation purchased this property. I have been here as the professor and center director since March 31st, 1997.
Okay. Now this is one of 11 ARECs in Virginia. Give us some background on the ARECs overall. What's done at the ARECs and why?
The AREC system is a very unique system. We are part of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and part of Virginia Cooperative Extension, and our role is both research and extension, and we work with the industry in the various fields around the state. We work with the seafood companies here in Hampton, but there's other ARECs that deal with horses, there's other ARECs that deal with turf grass, other ones that deal with field crops. So we are here to really make sure that the agricultural industry in Virginia is thriving and prosperous.
Okay. So here at the Seafood AREC,
yes.
Tell us some of the things that go on here.
Okay, we have an exciting AREC and great people. There's 10 faculty and staff here. And our purpose is to ensure that the seafood produced here in Virginia remains a top quality product in the world. And we have, our main focus is seafood quality and safety, microbiology, handling and processing, shelf life determinations, safety determinations. We have an engineer on staff that ensures that all the cooking and freezing processes by companies are done properly and adequately. We have a trainer on staff that will train in both English and Spanish on good handling practices, sanitation, good manufacturing practices, seafood HACCP, which is a food management program to ensure the safety of products. We have a business and marketing specialist here that works with companies, helps them find new opportunities for their products. And we have an aquaculture specialist here looking at aquaculture here in Virginia, both finfish and shellfish.
Wow. So the research that's done at all the ARECs, it's not to benefit Virginia Tech. This is to benefit the people who are using the products and the consumers as well, correct?
Absolutely. Our work here, most of these ARECs, is applied work, both on the research side, where we're doing applied work, which have outcomes that can be used by the industry. Then we take our research outcomes and put our extension hat on, go out to the companies and help them show how this can make their products and their companies run better, produce safer quality products, improve their profitability, and just make Virginia proud of what they produce.
Let's talk a little bit about your exact location, your physical location. We are on the shores of Hampton Creek.
Correct.
There's boats coming in and unloading crabs and fish. Why is it important to be right here?
It's important, you know, this town, Hampton, was called Crab Town. It still is. They processed a lot of crabs. It's changed over the years, okay? It's important that we're here because, one, we're close to the water that we use for our aquaculture work. We're close to Graham and Rollins, which is one of the finest and the biggest crab processors in Virginia. They're just down the street from us. Right across the street from Amory Seafood, which is, again, one of the biggest wholesalers of fishery products in this state, and they are an outstanding company also. It's nice to be able to be close to the industry. We can get feedback from them of what we're doing, of how we can help, and if we make, and sometimes we make mistakes, it's nice to get feedback back so we can correct those mistakes and go on with things. So it's an ideal location, and we have tremendous support from the City of Hampton.
Okay.
We're right across the creek from Hampton University, a fine university. We've had their students here working as interns, the graduate students working with their faculty. It's a unique opportunity to interact with Hampton University, which is a real pleasure also.
That's great.
Yeah.
The more education you can do, the better, right?
Yes.
That's the reason you're here.
Yes, yes.
Now, we're going to talk to a couple more folks, and next on our docket is who?
Michael Schwartz, Dr. Michael Schwartz, who's our aquaculture specialist.
Okay, great. Well, let's go find out more.
All right.
So we've called up with Dr. Michael Schwartz. Michael, tell us what your role is here at the Seafood AREC.
At the Seafood AREC, I am the aquaculture specialist. So basically, we develop programming for outreach, for producers, for industry, to help address current problems they're having in aquaculture, or perhaps develop new product lines or new ways of doing something, so to enhance and support aquaculture.
Can you define aquaculture for us?
The growing of aquatic organisms, could be plants, could be animals, could be oysters, could be algae, anything in the water.
Okay. So why is aquaculture such an important part of Virginia's farm culture?
Virginia has a strong farming and fisheries background. So we produce a lot of seafood, we historically have. Aquaculture kind of is an intersection of the two. It's farming of fisheries products. And from a Virginia perspective, we have a very large and significant seafood sector, which also has to do with once the fisheries are captured, then they go into processing, cold storage, transportation, a lot of value-added products. With decreases of wild fisheries and increasing demand, aquaculture can help, together with fisheries, increase seafood supplies to maintain some of these traditional and emerging seafood sectors. So it really does help Virginia specifically.
So tell us a little bit about some of the studies you have going on. For example, what are these black buckets that are over here beside us?
Okay, these black buckets are relatively new. We started in 2014 with a conservation aquaculture program, and we're building these systems toward that. These are recirculating systems, so the water is recycled through biological filters, solids filters, UV sterilizers, so we continually reuse the same water. And these are specifically designed for the early life stages of fish, and in these, particularly for marine ornamentals. When we talk about aquaculture, it's not just to produce food fish or things to consume. Finding Dory in the Nemo movies, perfectly illustrates another aquatic species that has a high value, but we don't eat Nemo or Dory, but there's tremendous financial opportunities to culture Nemo or Dory and sell those basically into the aquarium sectors. And the reason this ties with conservation, traditionally most marine ornamental fish come from natural reefs around the world where they are captured in one technique or another and then sold into. We can not only culture these fish in Virginia or in the region or in the US where they don't naturally exist, but we can basically produce them in a sustainable fashion where we're not removing from possibly endangered or threatened species in the wild, and we can do it in a sustainable way and get a new sector for aquaculture for Virginians.
So in your job, in your mind, what do you feel like is one of the most important things that you do here?
I think one of the most important things that I do here is we really provide a connection for industry, researchers, producers, regulators, the different agencies that are involved. A lot of these stakeholders operate sometimes a little bit independently or don't have the connections to each other or the relationships. We provide an open platform where all the stakeholders for, in this example, aquaculture, come to us and we work with them to bring everyone to the table to address common issues with all of the stakeholders. So it's a comprehensive nature. So I guess a platform. You know, we provide an open platform for all the stakeholders to come together.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for talking to us today. We have one more appointment with Abigail. She's going to talk to us across the street at the fish market, actually, and tell us a little bit about what her role here is the center. So thank you so much for having us out. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. Please come again.
We will.
Nice to have you. Bye-bye.
So we've caught up with Abigail Vijaba. She is a food safety specialist with Virginia Cooperative Extension. Abigail, thanks for meeting us today.
You're welcome.
So we're sitting in a classroom. Tell us why we're in a classroom. This is where you do a lot of your work.
Yes, so one of the main thrusts that we have here, Virginia Tech and the Virginia Cooperative Extension, is to provide training to the workforce that we have here is vital. Training the workforce is vital so that we can produce a product that is safe and wholesome. So this is one of the places that we use, one of the venues that we use to provide those trainings.
Okay. So are you talking about the handling of seafood?
Yes, we talked a lot about food safety practices. It's recognized out there in the regulatory world as good manufacturing practices. And it's important that people, workforce, know how to apply, know knowledge, understand what this means, and know how to apply these food safety practices so to prevent foodborne illnesses in the product that they are manufacturing that is going to ultimately be served to Virginians.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
Oh, I've been here in Virginia Tech since 2006, doing this as part of my extension work.
Okay. But this training is nothing new to you because you said you did a similar job before on the federal level,
That's
correct?
right, yeah.
Okay.
Before I started this work under Virginia, I did the same thing for the federal government in which, in that case, I went nationally and abroad to do the same thing, teach people, the workforce, how to manufacture a safe product.
Now, you mentioned going abroad, but we have a lot of folks coming into Virginia to work, and one of your jobs is to help with the language barrier. Tell us how that works.
Well, as I don't know if you noticed, but here in the seafood industry, the majority of the workforce here in this East Coast over here is Spanish-speaking people. So that brings in, even though this is a skilled workforce and the reason why they're being brought here, it brings in some new challenges to the seafood processors, and the challenges are, training and communicating in a Spanish language. And that is where Virginia Tech and the extension outreach and services come in handy. And that is where I come in, because I can train not only in English, but I also can train in Spanish, because that is my native language too.
So what is your biggest challenge in the seafood industry as far as safety goes?
Letting them know how important is the work that they do. Not only important to consumers, but that the fact that they're also consumers. While they're here, they're consuming foods. So that by itself, their job, their ultimate goal is to protect the consumer.
Right.
So that is indeed how I start my training, and to make sure not only that they get trained, but that they develop good habits.
Right.
So I can be there for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but they go back to their respective workplace, and then they're going to have monitoring to be able to perform these food safety practices day in and day out.
Okay.
And then we come around and we test it just to verify that all those controls that we put in place worked.
Have worked.
They have worked.
Wow.
But yes, we do a lot of things. We not only test the food, but we also sample the surfaces, the environment, to make sure that the environment does not support any possible contamination or any bacteria that can contaminate the food.
you have a big job here, and it sounds like you are doing an amazing job at it. So
Well, thank you. I
keep up the
appreciate
good
that.
work, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to show what Virginia Tech does to the people in the community of Virginia.
Great.
Thanks.
So that does it for our seafood AREC. Our next stop is going to be in Suffolk at the Tidewater AREC. We'll be right back.
There are 11 ARECs across the Commonwealth, totaling almost 4,300 acres. Each center focuses its research on the unique characteristics and challenges of each area, and our next stop in Suffolk is no different.
So we've made our way to Suffolk, and we're at the Tidewater AREC, and I'm joined by David Langston, the director of the AREC. David, thank you so much for having us out today.
Oh, thank you for coming. Appreciate that.
Can you give us a brief overview of what happens at this particular AREC?
Well, here at the Tidewater AREC, we primarily work on row crops. That's traditionally what our researchers here have been involved in. We also have a swine research unit here, so we've been directly involved in the commodities that are important to this area, which, like all the other ARECs, each one is positioned in an area of importance based on commodities and the type of research they conduct. Here we work on peanuts, cotton, corn, soybeans, small grains, those types of crops, and we have agronomists, entomologists, plant pathologists, crop physiologists, and swine reproductive physiologists that conduct research on all those commodities. Our yield is data. Growers, what they produce, they sell the grain, they sell the peanuts. Our commodity is data, and we use that data to be able to give the growers information they need to be successful farming in this area.
What kind of feedback do you get from the growers when you share information like that?
We typically get real good feedback, a lot of comments about timely information, or that's what we were having a problem with last year, and those types of things, or your programs are saving us money. That's the biggest thing is whatever we produce, it has to be something that helps the bottom line.
Okay.
For the grower. It helps them be successful in being able to produce a crop and have profit.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think we're going to mosey around here and see who else we can find to talk to.
Very good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So we've ventured outside to the fields, and we've caught up with Hillary Mell. Hillary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, what is your role here at the Tidewater AREC?
So I am the extension row crops plant pathologist. So I work on research related to disease management in all of the crops in this area, including peanuts, cotton, small grains, soybean, and corn.
Okay. So what type of diseases are you looking at that you're looking to stop or slow down maybe the process?
Right, so there's a variety of different diseases. A lot of them are fungi that will either infect the leaves or the roots of the plants, and they can really impact the yield of these crops that are very important in Virginia. And also, we do a lot of work on nematodes, which are these parasitic worms that actually feed on plant roots. A lot of my work, and those of others here, also focuses on reducing the chemical inputs in row crop production. I do a lot with advisories, disease advisories for growers, so telling them when there's a risk for loss to disease, when they really need to apply a fungicide versus when they may not need to, because it's both uneconomical to apply a fungicide when you don't need it, and also it's bad for the environment.
Okay. Well, thank you for meeting us out here today. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I believe our next stop is to meet Mr. Dale Cotton, who's going to talk to us about peanuts.
Great, thank you.
So we've caught up with Dale Cotton, and Dale, you're on the receiving end of the data that's collected from the AREC Center. You're with the Virginia Peanut Growers Association, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Amy.
Okay, so give us an idea of some of the things that you do with the data that you receive from AREC.
Well, actually, many times the projects that are conducted at the AREC are as a result of the funds that are put out by the Virginia Peanut Growers Association. The National Peanut Board does the same thing. They have money that's available for projects to be done. We come to the researchers here at the AREC, they do the projects and then give the data back to the farmers. The data is usually presented on the peanut side of things about once a year. We have a statewide peanut production meeting, and at that production meeting, all of the researchers give the results of their projects. So, plus they have the book that they do each year on peanut production, and the results of the projects are also in those books. So the data is basically given back to the stakeholders or the growers, and they're the ones that need the information. So, and plus we have field days here, and the growers come and see this in operation as well.
Okay. So what are some of the outcomes that some of our peanut growers have experienced from the data provided by the ARECs?
Well, I guess I could go back a number of years on many of these outcomes. We're always striving in this area for fewer inputs. Peanuts are a commodity that is very costly to grow. So the less time you spend in the field and taking tractors and equipment to spray in the field, the better off you are. So we have developed over the years, and you continue to help perfect these things, is, for instance, spray advisories. Farmers don't go, they used to go out by the calendar and in their field every so many days and spray. Well, come to find out, many times they might have been doing that and they didn't really need to do that. So I'm not going to say it was a waste, but it was somewhat unnecessary. So now we have advisories that tell them when the conditions are right. The farmers have ways through the computer or by the phone or whatever it may be to call in here and listen to the advisory that tells them when the conditions are right to go out there and spray, based on the moisture levels, based on the humidity levels, those type of things.
Do you think the peanut growers could do their job as well without the input from the research centers?
Oh, no. That's what the research centers are here for. We need, farming is constantly updated through research. That's the reason we're making the yields that we're making. It's good rotation practices, but it's also good varieties, seed varieties to grow, which have been developed. It's also good farming practices that have been tuned over time and retuned over time through research that we get. So there's no way that we could have the extent of farming that we have these days and the efficiency in farming these days without the research.
Well, you know, we always read data about how the farmers have basically doubled what they're growing and what they're producing now, as opposed to what they were growing and producing in around the 60s. And is that holding true for your peanut farmers? Are they getting more per acre, you know, based on some of this research and better practices?
Oh, very much so. If you go back to maybe in the early 90s or even around 2000, the nationwide yield was about 3,000 pounds to the acre. Now the nationwide yield is 4,000 pounds to the acre. So, you know, and we've gone up in increments about 300 pounds per acre every 4 or 5 years or so. So and it doesn't sound like much to go from 3,000 to 4,000, but that's a third increase.
Sure.
So that's a tremendous amount of increase in a national yield. And in Virginia, historically, our yields have been above those yields. In Virginia, we tend to not plant more acres than we can, we try to maximize our efficiencies, and that doesn't always mean we plant that many more peanuts. We try to plant actually fewer peanuts and maximize our efficiencies on those fewer acres.
Del, thank you so much for meeting us out here today. We sure appreciate hearing your input.
Thank you.
That about does it for our show. If you'd like more information on the AREC centers around the state, visit Virginia Tech's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences website. Thanks for watching and have a great week. I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.
The remarkable soybean. From its oil we get products like ink, candles, and paint. From its meal we get a high-protein fiber used in foods and animal feeds. Natural soy is replacing chemicals and products you use every day. You can learn more about soybeans at vasoybean.com.
Would you like to put your business in front of rural America and the ag community every week? We have sponsorship opportunities available that will do just that. Get in touch with us to hatch a new plan.
Check out Virginia Farming on Facebook. Virginia Farming's Facebook page is a great way to stay connected with Virginia agriculture. You might even find some humor there too. You'll find links to events and happenings all over the Commonwealth that are of interest to farmers and consumers alike. So connect with us and share your stories and photos with the Virginia farming community and keep up to date on all things agriculture. Virginia Farming on Facebook.